What's up, average Tough fans? Welcome back to another video, and as promised, it's the versus. The Oppo X7 Ultra versus the Vivo X100 Ultra. In this video, I will mostly just be talking through the phones, showing you pictures on the device and videos, letting you hear the speakers, letting you see the design. So most of this video is just looking at the phones themselves. They are super similar in so many ways. It's hard to decide which one to choose. Hopefully this video will help, but please be aware, if you pick either of these devices, you're getting, in my opinion, the best or the second best Android phone of 2024. Let's go. So here we are. Throughout the rest of this video, I am just going to show you what you want to see. And that's the phones. You don't have to look at my beautiful face. The X100 on the left and the Oppo X7 Ultra on the right. The first things I want to talk about is just the overall design. And I've talked about this ad nauseum in most videos. These are two of the best designed phones on the market. I love that huge circular camera bump on both devices. It just looks stunning. However, as you can see here, the Oppo is slightly bigger than the X100 Ultra. However, there are 4 lenses on the X7 Ultra compared to the 3 of the X100 Ultra. And we'll obviously get into cameras quite soon. Now, as far as the other design aspects, I love the vegan leather back and the stitching on all of the X7 Ultra variants. The blue, the brown, the black. The titanium, the white and the grey are more smooth, particularly the titanium and the white on the X100 Ultra. You can only get them in smooth variants. So if you're someone that doesn't rock a case, I would definitely say I prefer the look and feel of the X7 Ultra, but the Vivo isn't exactly an ugly sister. Now, if we look at the displays on these devices, you'll see that they are two of the best panels in the market. The Vivo is 1440 by 3200 with a PPI of 517. That, folks, is the best and sharpest on the market. However, we're talking, a matter of pixels here. The Oppo X7 Ultra is 510 PPI, but it's a 6.82 inch screen compared to the 6.78 of the Vivo. In real life, as you can see, there's not any difference. Now, continuing with the screen, they are both 120Hz. They are both Dolby Vision, both HDR10+, both 120Hz. I think I already said that. And in terms of brightness, they are both brighter than any global phone you're ever going to buy. This is 2600 nits, that's the Oppo, and the Vivo goes up to 3000 nits. However, both in normal day-to-day life, lying around the house or even in direct sunlight, you're going to get around about 1800 nits from both phones. Now, to me, these are, as mentioned, two of the best displays on the market. I love the colours, I love the sharpness, the resolution, and it was a big reason that I said the X100 Ultra was a big enough of an upgrade from the X100 Pro because of the sharpness and resolution of the screen. Now, in terms of speakers, here's how they both sound. And now, I want to do something different. Let me know if this works or not. But I want to show you how the photos have turned out on each device. I've taken exact same photos, but I want to see how they compare on each device on the actual screen itself, not through a compressed YouTube video, although it's still through the YouTube video, but not through Final Cut Pro, not enhanced, nothing like that, just straight on the device. So let's just go through them. So here you can see the Oppo on the right and the Vivo on the left. If we just double tap to zoom in, both have done an incredible job with dynamic range in my opinion. However, at first glance, I would say that in this photo, the Vivo is more true to life. The Oppo has not blown out the sky, but it's certainly a bit brighter than certainly what that Scottish day was. I then switched it to the zoom lenses on both. So you can see here, this one. So the Vivo was zoomed in at 3.7x and the Oppo was zoomed in at 5x. That's the optical zoom ranges on both devices. 3.7 optical on the Vivo, 5 times optical on the Oppo. And then we'll just pinch in even more. 10x. 10x on both devices. I'll let you decide. You tell me what you think. I should also say, sorry for the dusty screen. This is the issue of screen protectors. I have kept the screen protectors on both devices, but screen protectors pick up bloody dust and it really annoys me. Anyway, back to the photo. So that's 10x, and now let's look at the full zoom. Full zoom on both devices. It's a 200 megapixel on the Ultra and a 50 megapixel on the Oppo. If I double tap, let's see how it's done. So let's pinch in to zoom as much as we can on the Vivo. So you can see here when you zoom right in, that's 100x, then some. It's, you know, blurry. Let's try the same on the Oppo. I don't know. You tell me. What do we think's more legible? To be honest, I think they both do. Let's switch it back so it doesn't confuse you. This is the Vivo in my left hand. I don't know. That one's tricky because it is small letters from, just remind yourself, a very long way away. Like, that's insane what both of these can do. But let's continue on with the photos. I then moved it to just a normal 1x times photo. Colours look great on both. Saturation, sharpness. Yeah, I mean, what the Vivo can produce with this lens is phenomenal. You can see here, the green really gives you an idea. So where I said the sky was a bit washed out before, the colours on the Oppo are slightly more washed out. What Vivo do with their processing is just incredible. Look at the leaves. That's true to life colour, that green. And they're both in their default standard modes. Let's continue on. And now another strength of Vivo, in my opinion, is the portrait. However, the one thing I love about the Oppo is it has 4 lenses. It has the 2 times optical for portrait photos, whereas the Vivo doesn't. You're kind of stuck at the range that you're given. However, if we just zoom in here and look and pinch in, yeah, I much prefer the Vivo on the left here. Reason being the natural bokeh. You can see more detail in the Vivo and it's true to life. The Oppo is great, but I'm going for the Vivo. Now we have a video, both 4K. One thing that Android phones have done over the past year is almost completely removed any stutterness, jittery action. You can see here, even zooming in on both phones, this used to be a real downside. Now, the Vivo, as you just seen there, the Vivo on my left, is smoother with zooming in than the Oppo on the right. Now, can you see the slight difference in colouring? The Oppo is slightly warmer, making my son look a bit more red or orange than he actually is, whereas the Vivo, again, more true to life. I think we're almost done. Another couple of photos. Yeah. I mean, when I talk about these cameras, I am splitting hairs because both of these are number 1 and number 2 in terms of smartphone photography, in my opinion. I went a bit daft with the portraits there. And yes, this is the final example I want to show you. Ultra wide on both devices. And I'm going to zoom into the window way off in the distance. I've not previewed this first. This is me looking at it live. The writing zoom shot, I would actually say, was super, super close. I thought the Vivo would maybe do much better than the Oppo, but it didn't. But let's see how it copes with a window situation. So I'm going to zoom into that house. There. What do we think? Double tap to zoom. That's amazing. Yeah, so hopefully it's coming across, but the Vivo on the left, I would say is sharper. Would I? Would I say the Vivo is sharper? Yes. Yes, I'm going to go for the Vivo here, but as expected, the Oppo absolutely holds its own when it comes to photos and videos. And not just holds its own, I mean, I would absolutely take in the comments if you think that the Oppo is better, then cool. I knew these would be close in terms of photography. Now, other thing I want to talk about on here is software. ColorOS on the Oppo, Origin OS on the Vivo. And people ask me why I like Origin so much. It's actually quite simple. When you go into the app drawer and swipe across, you've got all these widgets, and some of them, yes, are all Chinese writing, but the weather, the recorder app, and then you've got your usual Android widgets. There's just so much more to choose from. And if I bring up the menu for the home screen, you've got your transitions and settings menu, and in there is honestly dozens and dozens of customization features. And while ColorOS is no slouch, it doesn't have the widgets that Origin OS gives you. It's more basic. As you can see here, it's much more basic. So I'm not actually set this up as app drawer, but my apps are there. So you can also see that this is absolutely my daily driver for anybody asking or any questions about banking apps. As you can see here, I have Metal Business Banking, Revolut, RBS, PayPal, my Shopify account. Everything works seamlessly. And as this video's gone on, you'll also notice I've been getting my notifications come through. So yes, notifications come through, badges, yeah, all perfect. And that goes for the Oppo as well, Chinese ROMs. So design-wise, Oppo. Cameras, ever so slightly, Vivo. And now I want to throw it back to me to talk about price. So that was some photos, videos, talking about the design, talking about the software. But really that was just a chance for you to see both of these phones side by side in detail from an English-speaking reviewer. I know I'm going to have lots of questions, so leave them down below. But the final thing I wanted to talk about was just the price. The Oppo X7 Ultra is around 6 months older than the Vivo. Now, while that doesn't actually make a difference in terms of specs or chipset, it does impact on the price slightly. The half terabyte versions, and I'll just use them as examples, the half terabyte version of the Vivo is £150 more expensive than the half terabyte version of the X7 Ultra. And that's really your biggest deciding factor, in my opinion. Because they're two of the best Android phones on the market just now, It ultimately comes down to price. And for me, software, which is slightly better than Origin OS, but that's my opinion. But when we look at price on its own, is the Vivo X100 Ultra worth £150 more than the X7 Ultra? I think it is, but I love the Vivo. So I'll leave it to you to decide. Rest assured though, for the rest of today and all of tomorrow, all Average Dad members will get 5% off the price, taking the Oppo X7 Ultra to under £750 for a 0.5 terabyte of storage. And that Vivo, the X100 Ultra, under £900. So have a look around the store, do your research, and if you end up purchasing, congrats. You win at the phone game. So hopefully you enjoyed this different type of versus. I've really just tried to show you the phone, and I purposely just wanted to show you how photos and videos themselves looked on the phone directly, because let's be honest folks, that's how we consume content these days. Anyway, I'll be back soon with more content on a couple of new phones that I don't think I'm going to love, but I have to do it. And until next time,